What's going on, everybody? This is E from the Easy Entrepreneur YouTube channel. And I flip diabetic supplies full time, right? And I always gotta tell everyone in the beginning of my videos from moving forward, right, how the business works, right? We buy diabetic supplies from patients who are getting the diabetic supplies who feel that they don't need to use them anymore for multiple different reasons. We're taking unused and unexpired supplies. We're buying them from them, and then we're selling to wholesale distributors who sell to pharmacies and stuff like that, right? That's what we do. So this video today is about what items must I have to get started flipping medical commodities, right? So first, you need your buyer sheet, right? Very important. Without the buyer sheet, we can't make this business work, pretty much. I mean, to be honest with you guys could probably buy this stuff and then sell it on eBay, but also you'll be waiting for it to sell. So that's not a really good business model to, really invest in. But so you need your buyer sheet, right? About 10 to 15, 20 different buyers right now. That thing is worth gold, guys. It's worth gold. This is what makes it run. You know what I mean? So you need your buyer sheet, right? You need to know how to read your buyer sheet, right? What supplies are the buyers buying? Buyers are buying between 50 to 100 different supplies, first of all the buyers. They're all buying pretty much the same stuff. They all just have different prices of what they're buying. Some of them have some stuff that other buyers are not buying, but pretty much everyone's buying the same stuff, but just at different prices. The prices are not too far off, sometimes $5, $10, $20, $30, $40 around that. So you need your buyer sheet, right? Because you need to know how much you're going to offer the seller, right? You're going to see your buyer sheet. Your buyer sheet's going to have a certain price. You're going to offer the seller something lesser, right? And in between is the profit. So seller, lesser, buyer, higher, in between number is your profit, right? You need a phone number. Second thing, you need a phone number for people to reach you at, right? People are gonna call you. You need some way for people to reach you. Third, you need some cash. You need some cash to buy the supplies from the seller, right? You're flipping this stuff. You're buying it from the seller, right, with your money. Then you're gonna take it and sell it to the buyer. But you already know your profit, right? I always have to explain this to people. You already know your profit because you know that the buyer's paying this much. So you're going to be able to buy from the seller at a certain price that you want to sell it to, that you want to make your profit, right? The buyer's price is set in stone. Your price is not. You could offer whatever you want to offer, and then based on your offer is how much your profit is. So you can go home, you can buy the supplies and go home and say, hey, I made $300 today, $400 today, and haven't sold it to the buyer yet. Because you already know how much the buyer's paying. The buyer says it on his price sheet. That's what he's paying, right? So you need money to buy those supplies and then flip it, right? You need a marketing strategy. Fourth thing, you need a marketing strategy. Tons of marketing strategies out there. Basically, marketing 101, whatever other businesses are doing, that's what you do, and you just craft it towards the diabetic texture business, right? I go more in depth with that stuff in my course and mentorship. All of these things I'm going to talk about, I go more in depth about it, but I'm just going to give you a little skeleton of everything. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth thing, you need to get familiar with the supplies we're buying. People still have an issue with supplies. Even my students, they have an issue with the supplies, and they don't have an issue with it because they're my students. I mean, obviously I let you hit me up and ask me as many questions as possible that you need, but people just don't go through the sheet and look at the supplies and get, acquainted with the supplies. That's just, people just don't do it. And, it's okay. I get it. We all have busy lives going on, children, marriages, relationships, work, all of that stuff. So I get it. That's why I give you guys access to me to ask me questions as much as possible. So you need to get familiar with the supplies, right? We got test strips. We got Dexacoms, we got Omnipods, we got Medtronics, right? We got Lancets and needles, right? We got some over-the-counter insulin and stuff, stuff like that. So you need to know what's what. Another thing, you need to get familiar with the buying criteria. So very important. You can't just be going in there and buying whatever. These patients, or I don't want to call them patients, our clients, our customers who have access to these supplies, who are getting these supplies, they don't know that they're supposed to have this stuff perfect. So sometimes when you talk to these people, they'll say, yeah, everything looks good, everything is cool. When you meet with them, or they send it to you, if you're doing this stuff nationally and they send it to you, this stuff is like, the box is crushed, or there's a little rip on it, this, that, and the third. Even the smallest little rip and the smallest little ding could be something that we can't buy. And the seller doesn't understand that. So you need to know the buying condition, our buying criteria, and you need to know the dates that we're buying this stuff at, right? It has to be a certain date that we're buying this stuff. Now, you guys, this is kind of the back end stuff. You need a place to store these leads, right? People calling you, need a place to store these people who are calling you, and store these people who are buying, who you're buying this stuff from. You need a place to store that stuff, right? You need to have a bookkeeping system in place. You need to be storing what you're buying, day in, day out from every customer, every single supplier. You need to be knowing what you're buying, this, that, and the third. Stuff needs to be written down somewhere. Very important. You need some customer service. Now, I don't want to say that it's very important, because they're going to sell to people. The clients are going to sell to you regardless, because they want the money. They want the money. But someone who has some good, decent customer service, it goes a long way, because this business is a very personable business, personable business, whatever. And so, people like dealing with you, based on your customer service, because you're going to be meeting these people are all repeat customers. So they sold to you once, they're going to sell to you every month. So now they're going to see you every month. So now they're going to be hitting you up like they're one of your friends, right? Sometimes they even get a little annoyed that you don't even remember who they are, right? Especially if you don't see their number, you don't see their name, you don't know the name they call you. They're like, what do you mean? It's the same. It's John from over there. You've been here a couple times, man. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So you end up kind of becoming friends with these people, right? So you should have good customer service. Good customer service will beat out the competition. Now, you also need to know how to pitch the business to customers, right? You get on the phone with people, you need to know what to say. You need to know what objections to say to people when they have certain questions. You need to know these things, and it's not hard at all. Some people make it harder than what it is, but it's not hard at all. And when it comes to objections, I don't want you to compare objections in this business like comparing objections with the wholesale and real estate business and other type of businesses where like you literally got to say the right thing, and if you don't say the right thing, you'll scare the person away. Nah, in this business, half of the time you don't even have to have objections. I mean, half of the time there's not going to be objections, and then sometimes there are objections, but they're not necessarily I don't want to do business objections. It's more so pricing, supplies, letting the person know about what we got going on as far as what we're doing in this business and what we're doing with the supplies, little things like that. Another thing is you need to be working on getting a business bank account and an LLC, a logo, a website. That's later stuff though. You don't need that starting out, but I want to throw that in there in this video because eventually you start getting invoiced, start getting paid. You want to start doing things the right way. You want to start building your business entity. You want to have LLC, logo, website, business bank account, all of that stuff. Very important. You need access to a vehicle, unless you're gonna get on the bus and train and go get these supplies. Hey, more power to you. You that much of a hustler, you want to go out there and go and get it, and you want to jump on trains and buses and go get these supplies, do it. I would do it. Why not? You're making money, right? But you need obviously you need a way to get to these people. So basically you need a way to get to the customer. And the last few, you need hustle and discipline, right? The hustle comes from you answering the calls, you going to do the pickups. That's the hustle, right? The discipline is you answering the call when someone calls you, even when you don't. You going on a pickup, even when you don't. You doing the marketing, even when you don't want to do the marketing. That's the discipline part. And to go big in this business, you just need consistency. That's the thing that I see with everyone. Everyone in this business makes money, but what I find that's very common is people are not consistent at all, right? They've made their money, and then you're like, what you got going on now? Well, I stopped doing this, I stopped doing that. That's where the consistency part comes in, and that's what I see that a lot of people are lacking. 95% of people in this business are lacking. They're making their money, but if you spoke to them before they started the business, they would have probably told you, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month. I want to build a $100,000 business. And then they make their money, they're making $2,000 a month, right? They're not going hard no more. So it's the consistency part that I see. That's the issue for going bigger, right? But yeah, guys, I'm done with this video. That's my thing as far as what items must I have to get started flipping medical commodities. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I have a course mentorship. Book a call with me down below, or just text me. We'll talk. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be dropping heat every day. All right, guys. Peace.